Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Foliage. I'm sure whenever we talk about Dieffenbachias, that first image that comes to our mind are plants with a lot of variegation, a lot of white color or a lot of spots, and that is what most of the Dieffenbachias are known for. And as I've already said this, I love Dieffenbachias because they are one of the most affordable variegated plants. A lot of people love variegated plants these days, and we all know that how expensive variegated plants can be. But in that terms, Dieffenbachias are one of the most affordable variegated plants that you can get. But in today's video, we are going to be talking about another Dieffenbachia that looks very unique, that looks very different, and that does not have a lot of variegation. So I'll quickly show you which one I'm talking about. So this is the unique looking Dieffenbachia. I know in the first glance it tends to look like it is an Aglaonema, but it is actually a Dieffenbachia. I'll put up the scientific name on the screen. Now this Dieffenbachia is not going to have any kind of variegation. This is a new leaf. It's little lighter in color. Eventually it will turn very dark green in color. Now the best part is that this is one of the Dieffenbachia that you can keep it in a bit of less light, not in a dark area, but a little bit of less light, because majority of the Dieffenbachias with variegation would require a good amount of indirect bright light, which has a good amount of intensity in the bright light. But this one can do well in a little bit of less light. So if there are people who are looking out for Dieffenbachias wherein you don't receive a lot of light and you want to still grow a Dieffenbachia, then this is one of the Dieffenbachia you can add in your collection. You can easily find it in your local nursery, or you can even find it online as well. It is absolutely easy to take care, just like how our variegated Dieffenbachias, they are easy to take care. This is the same process. The soil has to be loose, porous, well draining. They're not very picky that you need to add pumice or you need to add perlite in the soil. They will do well in any kind of soil mix as long as it's loose, porous and well draining. So I've used a mix of coco peat, garden soil and sand. Sand is basically to make the soil mix loose, so your pot should have a drain hole so that the excess water can drain out. Whenever you see around 1 to 2 inches of the upper layer of soil is dry, go ahead and do a complete watering. Dieffenbachias are not drought tolerant plants, so you have to be extremely careful that you do not underwater them excessively. Light, as I said, you can keep them indoor as well. Even if you're getting a little bit of light, this plant will do quite well. The leaves will get even more darker, and they have this very prominent mid rib or the midline, which is white in color. And as and when the plant starts to mature, these leaves will get even more bigger. Right now, as you can see, the leaves are small, so probably another 3 times or 4 times bigger than what the leaves are right now. It tends to grow really huge. Typical stem system of what our Dieffenbachias have, as you can see the stem area. Propagation, as and when they start to put out new shoots, you can propagate them. It is the same process. Here you can see there is a small little aerial root. If I want to cut, I can cut it just below that, probably a couple of centimeters, and then I can transfer it. But I do not want to cut this one. I'm just going to leave it as it is. As long as there are aerial roots or there are nodes, you can cut them off. I've already made a video on it. I'll put the link in the description below of how to propagate your Dieffenbachias. It's very simple. Pest issues, I have not seen or encountered any pest issues on my Dieffenbachias, but I would say, to be on the safer side, do a routine check once in 2 weeks or once in 3 weeks, because at times your other plants have pests and then they tend to transfer. But ideally, Dieffenbachias do not get affected, which is a very good thing. They're very, very low maintenance plant. They do not need a lot of attention. Temperature anywhere between 15 degrees Celsius up to 34-35 degrees Celsius is absolutely fine. They are not a frost hardy plant, so if you are from a place wherein you experience snowfall or frost, get them indoor. They will do quite well. They're not very picky about the humidity as well. That's why I say Dieffenbachias are one of the most easiest to grow plants. So if you're looking out for a plant, you don't get a lot of light, then get this variety of Dieffenbachia. It looks absolutely beautiful. The dark green color tends to contrast really well with the midline that is there on this, and it tends to look very beautiful. A lot of times people might even mistaken this plant as Aglonema, as I said, because it looks very different from our regular Dieffenbachias. Talking about toxic, as we all know, Dieffenbachias or the dumb canes are very toxic, so ensure you're keeping this plant away from the reach of small children and pets. If you're keeping it at a safe distance, there is nothing to be worried. It's an absolutely easy plant. Touching the leaves is not dangerous. It's only when you're doing a propagation, if the sap comes in contact with your skin. If you have sensitive skin, it can lead to allergic reaction. It's only dangerous when the leaves are ingested or any part of the plant is ingested. That is when the plant is dangerous. Just keeping it at a safe distance will not cause any harm. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.